Welcome back to the FIFA Ultimate Team Manchester Fut Champions Cup. Hello, Harry. How are you today? How are you, Mike?
I'm doing wonderful. We just saw some very exciting matches.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Like the game which opposite Dax versus Gorilla. Let's have a little bit about the game.
I mean, it was back and forth action. You felt like whoever scored last was definitely going to be the winner in terms of, okay, the clock's ticking and the clock's ticking because it was equalizer on equalizer, and then we went to penalty kicks and incredible. Gorilla, I think, struggles with penalties. I've heard him discuss that he's had some struggles with penalties in the past, and I thought obviously Dax looked better in penalties. And then we also had the Fiddle versus Shane match, which is another high-scoring affair, and then also FaZe versus Excel, and we're going to be discussing Excel from Netherlands. Is going to be up against Kurt now. Another very big matchup.
As you can see on the graphics, it's all the PS3 winners like Dito, like Bullet, like Demi, like Mustafa, like Unilad, Chels. What is your first impression about the players?
A lot of very notable guys that are on the board, and that's what you would expect. And it's important in a tournament like this where you're using the Swiss format, which is where you go basically play somebody else who's 0-0, then 1-0, and then 2-0, and so forth. Like, as your record improves, you play someone at the equal point of record, and you want to get off to a good start. You don't want to have to make a big comeback. It's a good story, but it's not ideal as a competitor, no doubt about that. I would definitely want to start out with a win.
And now we are ready to say the Xbox winners. So we have a lot of French guys.
Hey, a lot of UK guys too.
UK too. So for you, which country dominates the game?
I think right now that the UK, France, and Germany, and those are the three that we're seeing up there, are the main countries that are really building out the community for the best players. I'm still going to lean towards the UK. Now, don't hate me in the comments, but I think the UK has some of the big name players right now, and I think they've got a couple guys that are hungry. They're chasing Tex, who was a victor before, and I think that made some of the guys that are maybe a little bit older, a little more experienced, just a little bit more motivated.
Is it? So let's just have a talk about the Swiss formats. So
okay, absolutely.
So absolutely. So all of the players have to compete versus 7 opponents, and you have to play 14 games. And if you want to go ahead on the next knockout round, you have to win 4 games. But if you lose 4 games, you are out of the tournament.
Absolutely, you're eliminated. I don't think people can have anything but positive vibes for this change, because the first time we were introduced to the Swiss format was in Barcelona, and it basically guarantees you more games, and more importantly, it kind of removes the group stage, because remember, we used to hear feedback from events. I got an unlucky group draw. I was unlucky in this event. I should have been here. I should have been there. That no longer is the case. You're either winning, you're losing, you've got 2 legs. It's just hard to have excuses at this point. You're going to play a lot of matches, and it's all in your hands. That's what you want it to be, right? At a competitive tournament, you either got the magic hands or you don't.
You don't living in Disneyland Paris, you can be magic. So for me, is one of the best formats, because you have to play 14 games only in group stage. I don't know, but it's amazing. You don't have to play 4 games, but 14. Just imagine, just guess if you living in Brazil and if you coming at Manchester, so you have to flight 10 hours. And you don't fly 10 hours to play only 4 games, but to play 14 games. It's amazing.
I would always prefer that, because I remember going to tournaments when I first started in the competitive scene. It was single elimination, 128 people, and you would make that flight, and if you lost your first game, you're done. You didn't get a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, and so forth. So if you got a bad draw, or you just maybe a little bit sloppy, maybe still asleep on that long flight, you didn't wake up early, you weren't ready. And there you are. You're into a match. You lost. You go home. You can be a little bit salty about it, and that's not the case here. You're going to get many chances in order to have that story, whether that's you're 4-0 and you advance with ease, or if you have to struggle through it. So they all count the same. They do.
They do. They don't. I'm agree with you. So, as you are a pro player, Mike, so can you talk about the mind, the spirit of professional players in this tournament?
I think it's so important as a professional player to make sure that you keep your composure and also to keep your emotions in check. If you play too nervous, then you're too hesitant, and maybe you're giving away too much respect to your opposition.
It's going to be a trap.
It's going to be a problem. And then at the same time, if you're always feeling like you're chasing a game, you're rushing, your gameplay is going to be sloppy. It's not going to be good enough, and at this level, players don't make enough mistakes for you to create a bunch of comebacks. You can't go down 1-0, 2-0 game after game and expect to win those games consistently. The talent pool is just incredible. I mean, all the guys here deserve to be here. And it's shown. We had a lot of back and forth matches in the first round, and like we were touching base when we first got into the stream, if you guys did not see the results or the 3 main games that I would say that you wanted to watch, we had the Gorilla matchup, of course. We had the TAS matchup, the PSG Fiddle matchup, and we also had what was the other one that I wanted to go after there? There was one more match that I think went into penalties. It was crazy. But there's a bunch of intense matches and a lot of back and forth and a lot of goals being scored, which is what you want to see in FIFA. You know, you don't want to see people kill off the game. You want to see goals being scored.
I want to see a lot of goals.
What game did you like best out of the whole first grouping? Because we got to watch all of them. We have a monitor. We're like back and forth pulling up every single game. We saw Tex was a killer. He took no prisoners. He was a savage. I mean, first game when he played Marcus, no shots at Marcus. I think you're an excellent player, but 6-0. If you had any doubt or any question about, hey, is Tex really the real deal? Is this kid just you know, a one-time prodigy? I think that he shut that down very quickly. And his confidence must be through the roof. Yeah,
so we'll see the Team-Ox game. So Team-Ox will go to see Harry Perez. So just have a look of this game. So I'm just looking for the game. So are you ready to comment it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we're just going to see a video for the purpose of Team-Ox.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Roll it.
Yes.
And we're back. Once again, you wanted to hear me talk more about esports. I know you well.
I just want to say, you look very nice today.
You know, I tried to get a jacket going there. The hair's up, man. The people in the chat will be like, a little bit shaky maybe, but I'm definitely excited. I think that this is the future of esports in terms of structuring when they introduced the Swiss format. Whoever was part of the EA team, congrats, man. Thank you. We appreciate that introduction, and I'm curious kind of what the chat has to say in terms of who are your favorites right now, because they have 2 stories to really tell here. You have the veterans, the clever veterans, or they're going to be able to manufacture W's or get the wins that they're supposed to get, or is it going to be another story like Tex? We saw Mo lose his first matchup
versus Excel.
No, Mo played against Space.
Space, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about Space. Brand new. And like I said,
not by nobody.
For me, at least, I have no knowledge, no record. If you put, if you put up a bunch of screenshots of players and they didn't tell me who was who, I would know most of them. And that's one of the guys that I don't know this.
Who's next?
Yeah. Who's next? So that's could be the that could be another story that we kind of have to develop. And I like seeing the guys go from 0 to hero, so to speak, because I know the old school players are like, okay, I don't like this. We don't want to just welcome new talent in. And then at the same time, from a consumer standpoint, it tells you, hey, you can go from being basically a Joe to a pro. Nobody knew at that point that Tex was going to go through and dominate people. I mean, skill move sessions on deck. He had a little bit of everything, and he was very dominant in a lot of these matches.
Yeah, so just have a look of the Shells game.
Okay, perfect. No.
So in the round 1, just have a quick look about the Shells game. So just remember, Shells last year was known by nobody. So he just came to the FIFA tournament and he was the second at Berlin. So he lost versus
and arguably could have been the first place guy. He's 1 clearance away. You know, not to bring any negative limelight to the moment for him, but he played an excellent tournament, and for many people, if you were watching live, he should have been the winner. He
should be the winner. So Shells is one of the best examples because, as I said before, I repeat, I know he was known by nobody, and he just came with no pressure, and he was just close to win the title and to be crowned as a champions versus Rocky, but unfortunately he lost. So Mike, again, as a pro player, how do you manage your game before play the game?
Before you go into a tournament, I think it's important, and everybody's different in terms of their preparation and their structure of what works for them. But I think it's important to play other professional players. make sure you get your confidence right, and you get to make maybe last-minute tactical adjustments. You don't want to make too many of those. Don't change the formation that you start in. However, you can learn maybe your second or third formation. So when you need to make those switches, the only way that you can truly test if that's going to be an effective method for you is versus the top players in the world, and that's something I would definitely recommend. Get into some best of threes with your friends.
Yeah. And what is your best three formation? Your best three formations?
This year, I would go 4-2-3-1, 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, and maybe 4-4-2 or even the 4-2-2-2. I've really definitely been a fan of those. But let's get into this Kurt versus Excel matchup.
Yeah. So, as you know, so this game that we are looking, Chelsea was winning by 7-6 for Chelsea, and now the round 2 has just started. So we have to go to watch the game which opposite Kurt and Excel.
Absolutely.
Right now. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. So let's go now. We can look this game which opposite Chelsea versus Excel Persian.
And we have Excel in the Netherlands kits there, a couple ball rolls. And for you guys that don't know Excel, I remember commentating over some of his games early last year, actually. And he's coming out of, like I said, Netherlands. I think he's a player that could definitely make a difference. And Kurt, we all know what he's about.
Yeah.
He's the self-proclaimed greatest FIFA player of all time.
Yeah.
And he's got a chance to prove it. Oh. As he hits the post.
It's magic. Yeah. So you just talked a little bit about your best formation, your best three formations. So first is 4-2-3-1. Second is 4-4-2 now. What is the difference between both formations?
The biggest difference is that you're going to have one that's a lot more possession-based, maybe a little bit slower in the attack, but you have more defensive freedom, just because it's a more defensive formation, and you have that width when you're attacking. Now, if you go with the narrow option, which is 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, then you're looking for the ping-pong, the tiki-taka, the Barcelona passing, in order to create those attacks. And it's a matter of how well can you press your opponent on the defensive end. You don't want to give him free passes, big turnover here. Oh, and a rushed chance there from Excel.
Yeah. So with the 4-4-2 now, you can play as fast as you can. You can play for 1-2-1-2 passing with your left forward and right forward. It allows you to play very, very fast and to combine in small area as you can, as you want. So just get back to the game. Now we have Walker's the right back with Ronaldinho which is playing with Ronaldo which is giving the ball to Mateus. Let's have a little bit talk about the icons. What is your preferred icons?
My favorite icons?
Yeah, your favorite.
This year, I like the original R9, absolutely. I think Vieira, if you could only put one icon in your squad, I would always tell people start with Vieira.
Yeah.
The way that he dominates the midfield and the difference that he can make instantly, if you have a regular team around him, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Love Ruud Gullit. A lot of the typical icons, the ones that you're used to seeing, as we see the classic heel-to-heel, a nice little skill move combination with Ronaldo. Ronaldo might have heard me talking.
Yeah. Okay.
And right now, I'd say both players are kind of feeling out the game a little bit. We've had a couple close opportunities, and now they're sitting in the midfield. And I'm hoping that we get an opening goal, basically, to start the offensive flow. Yeah. And it makes it where one guy has to start pushing for more goals, or start maybe to feel a little bit of that pressure.
Yeah. At back, you prefer Maldini or Desailly?
Maldini for me in the back, but I know it's a preference choice. Rio Ferdinand's incredible this year.
Yeah, he's very strong.
I might even roll with Rio over Maldini, even though he's lower rated. Absolutely adore that 90 rated card. It's crazy to talk about FET cards and use the word adore. Uh-oh, that's a classic overlap.
It's a goal, yeah.
Absolutely, has to be a finish there with Kurt.
Good finish by Messi for Kurt. It's 1-0 now. Kurt versus Excel Persian. Wow, what a good finish, what a good passing, what a good building. And finish with a goal. Messi left foot, and it's 1-0 on the first game, which opposite Kurt and Excel. So as we can remember, as we can remind, Excel just beat TAS in the first round.
And Kurt won, obviously, his first round game as well. And that brings us here. So we'll see what Excel's kind of made of. You have to be able to make comebacks if you want to win tournaments at this level.
Yeah.
And one goal is nothing. I don't think he should start to really change his gameplay. He needs to be very under control, precise, and just keep his mindset spot on. This is what we're talking about with composure.
Yeah. Now it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo maybe in the penalty area. No. Good defending. What is your way to defend on FIFA?
I think it's important to keep your opposition guessing. So I prefer to have a mix of having high pressure and then at times being a little more passive and sitting back. If you need to make some traps, it's definitely in your best interest to kind of pick and choose your moments for those same traps. If you get too aggressive, then one unlucky bounce, one mistake in terms of reading the game, you're down a goal, then you're down 2 goals, and at some point there you start to have this major deficit, and you're no longer going to be able to get back into the match. You want to avoid that. But I like to kind of mix up my gameplay as much as possible when playing tournaments or even playing online. People get used to what you're doing, and you don't want to be predictable.
No. It's very difficult.
Uh-oh.
No.
That's a great example right there about composure. I think Excel took that one step too quickly. I think he was filling up the meter a little bit ahead of time, and he needed that goal. Oh, man. He's going to kick himself at halftime if he doesn't get back into this, because he's definitely had 3 or 4 chances, or half chances at least, and surely one of them should go in, as we see Kurt with the counter.
Yeah, I'm agree with you. So as we can say, to win the tournament, be the best player is not enough, because you have to manage a lot of metrics, like have the luck with you, because it's a video games. You have to have the luck with you, such as in sports, in real sports. You have to know your formation. You have to know 3 formations at least, as you said before, the 4-2-2 and the 4-4-2 now, the 4-4-2 in line as well, and you have to concede no goal by your opponents. You know, so you have to you just have to goal more than your opponents, and you have to stay focused. You have to get in mind that you are a pro players. You are not here to play for chips. You are here to win a title, you know.
No, absolutely. And also, no victor, no one who wins the championship or wins the event is not tested. Every single event you will be tested, and it's a matter of how you react. Are you able to get those 45th minute goals, those 90th minute goals? Are you going to close out those types of opportunities? Can you hold on to a lead? It's all these small intricacies and small details that go a long way, and sometimes we miss those details. And when we're analyzing a game afterward, then you maybe start to see, okay, he did switch formations here. This is a good tactical adjustment. As you can see, Kurt's actually making a substitution. He brought on Ruud Gullit to play out wide, which is not not a common change, actually. I think the sub is normal, but we're not used to seeing Ruud Gullit play as a winger. At least not from my experience. We'll see if Excel makes any adjustments here going into the second half. I don't think he needs to. This is one of those situations where people ask all the time, when should I change formation? When should I make these different adjustments? What scenario? Do I need to add more pressure? Do I need to be a little more defensive? And if you're only down a goal, especially when you're playing 2 legs, take your time, play your game, make sure you're honest with your gameplay. Was it good? Was it bad? I thought Excel had maybe even a better first half than Kurt in terms of making chances and just kind of controlling the play, but he's down a goal, and that's all that counts. So, but if I was Excel, I wouldn't rush. Make sure that you're still focused on doing what you're doing best, and just got to finish better. That's what it is. Little details. Got to finish a little bit better.
Yeah, but this is the big difference between pro players and casual players on FIFA. So pro players can adapt to the environment, adapt to the game.
Adapt to the that's going to hurt.
Look, Henry,
it's going to hurt. I'm telling you, Kurt, being ruthless right now. He's not missing chances. Kurt's had 2 opportunities. He's had 2 goals, and I take that back. He had a 3rd opportunity to hit the post. So I mean, he's been efficient, and that's what Excel's missing right now. Is not the gameplay. It's not his offense or his defense even. It's just his efficiency with finishing. You got to be clinical.
And these facts just show to us that keep the ball is not enough. As we saw in the statistics at the half time, we saw Excel with 64% of possessions.
Doesn't matter.
But he's losing 2-0. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Kurt's being efficient. It's all about the 3 C's. Being calm. Being, you've got to be composed. You have to be clinical. Have to be clinical. I should put that somewhere. Oh, he's get the equalizer. There we are. He's back in the game. He heard us talking about his efficiency, some of his finishing. So now it's anyone's game again. Woo. And you're right.
This game is looking to be huge. Very huge.
Yeah. Kurt's probably not happy with this, actually. That might affect him. This is what we're talking about with emotion, and composure, and mentality. is what's happening upstairs. Because when you play FIFA at a pro level, it's kind of like a battle of chess or even checkers, where you're playing against your opponent. Not even playing against the gameplay. A lot of it, am I reading this game properly? Do I feel comfortable? Am I dictating the pace?
And for you have to play your game or against your opponents.
I think it's important.
Because it's two different things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important at this level to be able to react. Because if you already have passes that are predetermined, you've decided you're going to go this way, you're going to attack this way, you're going to play defense like this, what happens when he changes something? The flow changes in that game. Yeah, exactly. And at this level, people aren't just going to take losses. They're not like, I only lost 2-1, not a big deal. That's not happening. They're going to press you. They're going to make changes. You're going to see different formations, different tactics, and substitutions. Absolutely. We've already seen a couple changes at halftime. And I don't expect this to finish 2-1. I'll let you know right now.
So you have to keep in mind that the game is not finished. So perhaps if you're losing 2 or 3-0, it's never finished. Just look, maybe it's a goal for Thierry Henry.
Kurt will not miss. He will not miss.
The double B for Thierry Henry, the double circle for Thierry Henry, and now it's 3-1. Henry is just looking the stand. Just looks like he scored this goal.
So happy to see Thierry Henry introduced as an icon. Watching Henry has got to be one of the biggest motivations for me as a soccer fan or a football fan.
I don't know if you know, but I'm a huge fan of Arsenal.
Well, so you were there for the good years, the great years, the best years.
The Invincibles.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 2004.
Vieira, Henry, Perez,
Simon, Nyonko Kanu.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Great time for football.
Great time, as you said. And now it's Ronaldo, which is giving the ball for Ronaldo.
He needs this equalizer. He needs it. Think if we could have seen that, a little R9. Passing to Cristiano. Here it is. That's a good break.
What a save by David De Gea. For you, David De Gea is the best goalkeeper on the game?
No question.
No question.
No question. When you look at ratings, next up would be Neuer, but Neuer just doesn't do what De Gea does. So I don't really put him in the same category. And I think the debate is more so, do you want to use the Team of the Year De Gea? Or do you want to use the normal De Gea? Because people do have that superstition or even that attachment or stigma where not every Team of the Year player is really better. Or is there potentially a reason that he doesn't make the save or he makes that save? Everybody has their own beliefs when it comes to goalkeepers because it's so subjective. And literally, it could be just one game was good, one game was bad for you. And then you don't believe in one of the goalkeepers, whatever version or variation that you're using. But hands down, De Gea has got to be the best goalkeeper.
So it's interesting what you are saying. So you have to be objective, you know. So because you can change the goalkeeper because he had a bad moment in one game. You have to test the goalkeeper in 10 games, in 20 games, in 100 games. So
Kurt with a big miss that could have put him up 4-1 and that would have been a great start in terms of aggregate. I would definitely say playing a weekend league will tell you what you need to know about the goalkeeper. Every goalkeeper I've tested out this year, well, we're playing a weekend, and that'll tell me if I like it, I hate it, or somewhere in between. Who's able to play at that top tier level? If it's not De Gea, I like Farman. I think he's a good goalkeeper this year.
I pick him in my team.
Yeah, I think he's solid. He makes a lot of brilliant saves. Probably one of the best goalkeepers or overpowered goalkeepers in the game because he's an 84 overall, which is respectable, but he's not an 87, 88, 90, any of those. One more overlap. We've seen this over and over again, and that's number 4.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah, Excel, you better make a pause, my guy. This is what we've come to love, to hate, to appreciate with Kurt, is that he will finish a 1v1. He is an absolute finisher, no doubt about it. When you look at players' attributes and what do each professional player, or what does each professional player do really well, I think with Kurt, there's no doubt that it is ability to finish. He needs 5 chances for 5 goals.
He's a master on it, on 1-to-1, 1 versus 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And he takes pride in it. If you follow him via Twitter, or you see how he's talking about his gameplay, it all comes down to him scoring those goals. And he's very good at keeping it simple. And at the end of the day, when you're playing FIFA, it is a simple game. Before we add the skills, before we add maybe some of the more intricate details, we still start with the simple things. Can you make the pass? Can you hit a classic 1-2? Do you play in triangles? Can you stop your opponent? How's your defense? Do you have a plan? Is there structure?
So just let's have a look about the Aztecs game. It's 2-2 versus Reza, the Monaco player.
Absolutely. Send us over there because Kurt's starting to look dominant here.
This game, just have a look. Reza versus Tex. Reza from Monaco, Monaco Esports, and Tex is the currently winner of the Barcelona.
I would actually say both of these players are favored to do well in this event.
Yeah,
they both did well, in my opinion. You know, everybody has their own. Obviously, Tex can't be mad, but I think Reza also could be happy to a certain degree with his performance in the previous event. He did well, in my opinion, and I would say they both have major expectations. Tex just signed for F2. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And Reza, he wants to do better.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go out of an event without a W. There's only one winner, and everybody wants to be that guy.
Yeah. Oh. This game is good because if you compare the two players, so Reza gets more experience by Tex, but Tex is a kid out, which has been crowned at Barcelona, and he must has too much skill.
Oh, that's a penalty. That's a mistake. He didn't mean to make that challenge. That's going to send Tex to the spot. Of course, if you guys are just tuning in now, Tex is in the red Liverpool kits, and Reza is in the Monaco kits.
Tex gets 2 red cards?
And yes, it does appear that Tex has 2 red cards. Incredible. What the hell did he do? Whoa. Oh, my goodness. And he might still have the lead here. Moment of truth. Oh, we got the save. That was huge. That was huge.
Super De Gea. What a save, what a game, what a match. Now it's Maidini at back for Marcelo. Marcelo, which is giving the ball to Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho to Vieira. Vieira now for Ronaldo. Ronaldo. And Ronaldinho again for Ronaldo. For Ronaldo.
Close. You could feel it. You felt the energy shift there. It does so much for your mental when you block a penalty. It's incredible. I don't know what Tex did. He must have at least 1 hack down. Has to be.
It's given the energy, as you said before. So now it's Henry in right wing for Gullet. Gullet for Vieira. Vieira again for Ronaldo. Ronaldo now. Kenny, but not Maldini. Just broke the attacks.
It's a bad turnover.
Yeah. Wow.
De Gea being De Gea.
David De Gea.
You guys in the chat, is there any goalkeeper that you like better than De Gea? I think it's got to be the #1 choice, but give me your #2 because I think it's a lot more debatable.
And you, Mike, as a pro player, how do you manage when it's miss only 5 minutes left and the game is draw as 2-2, for example?
I don't want to tell Tex what to do, but if I was Tex and I had the ball there, if you could stretch it to the 90th minute, that helps. So if you can hold the ball and basically go for the last attack, make sure you don't get countered. You're either going to end in a, I guess in this case as well, you know, we are going to go to extra time, but you want it to end where the game's going to extra time or you get the winner. You don't want to give up additional opportunities or counterattacks for your opponent. Everybody gets more confident in that 90th minute. Speaking of, it was getting close there. So right now, 89th minute, Tex should hold the ball until kind of going forward for that final attack. You don't want to get countered. That's the worst feeling. Giving up a 90th minute goal too, you think about it not just the next game, but later in the tournament. And that's what we're talking about with mentality. You don't want your emotion to take over. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God. Was countered by Ronaldo. And now it's one of the last attacks of the game, of the first game. Now it's a draw. 2-2.
Well, at the moment, it's a draw. We will find a winner. Remember, every single match that will be played today, there will be a winner and there will be a loser. We've got aggregate, but we're going the long way. And the Kurt match, I believe, finished. I see that 6-1?
It's 2-2 now. So let's just go back to the... Whoa! 6-0 for Tas versus Lost. Sneaky.
This is done.
The player from Monaco. For Lille, sorry. The player for Lille, from Lille. Wow, 6-0 for Tas.
Can I get some GGs in the chat?
Wow.
Tas is bouncing back. He did not like losing in penalty kicks.
Yeah, versus Excel.
He is feeling motivated. And I think the place you don't want to be is with 2 losses. I think that's the most dangerous spot to be in, is where you have 2 losses, or even if you have 2 wins, I think you could fall apart. So it's a scary position. 2 either way. And if
to win, it's a scary position because you have to play versus another player which have won 2 games before.
And then it's very easy to let that slide, and before you know it, you're back to 2-all. You lost your lead, you lost your advantage. Momentum's not with you anymore. And you still got to play another game. It's a tough, it's definitely a tough format, but it's the right format. I mean, mentally, it's going to be draining. Your eyes, they're going to hurt after each game probably, because this level of focus, yeah, you can't lose any of it. You can't have a lapse, no doubt.
Your mentality has to be prepared of it, because it's very, very difficult for you. Because as you said before, you have to play 14 games and win 2 games, win 3 games. Don't able you to go to the next round, because you can lose all of the next game. So it's going too faster.
And TAS is not letting up. Do you see this?
7-0.
7-0, not letting up whatsoever. You guys in the chat, what icon do you want to see next? Talk to us in the chat. I'm very curious, because icons matter. You see every single team that we're commentating over, we're talking about, minimum what? 8 icons? 7 icons minimum?
Minimum?
There's a couple
7,
Team of the
8,
Year
9,
players,
10.
but yeah, I mean, minimum. Like, you have to have at least 7 icons at this point. So who's next?
For example, you have Maldini, you have Emmanuel Petit, you have Maradona, you have Pelé, you have Vieira, you have Desai, you have maybe Yashin. You have 7 icons, and you can get 8, 9, 10.
I'm seeing some Beckhams in the chat. Oh, I've seen some Lampards in the chat.
I want to see Mike Labelle as a legend.
Okay, I don't think that'll happen. This is the best I'll get, man. Maybe they can put out like a special release. They put me as a strong 62 bronze.
Yeah.
I would accept that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy Conrad get an icon card.
Yeah, Jimmy Conrad.
Give him at least a year, 1 year, or maybe a special card release.
Yeah, because as we can remind you, Jimmy Conrad is a former USA captain. He was playing the FIFA World Cup 2006.
I mean, Jimmy is definitely an icon, no doubt. He played, at least in the U.S. world, he played, I think, 12 seasons in the MLS.
12?
And,
wow.
Yeah, 12 seasons in MLS. He's still doing his thing. He's still in better shape than I am.
Yeah.
I can confirm that. I just ran one of his pickup games, and
it's normal. But you are better than him in
FIFA. Thank goodness. FIFA. Yes. Yeah. If Jimmy starts beating me in FIFA, I got nothing, man. Yeah. I like the Beckham suggestion, or the Didier Drogba. I would take that, right?
Yeah,
I'll take a Didier Drogba.
Wow. What a player! He's a former player for Olympique de Marseille and for Chelsea as well.
Some very memorable moments at Chelsea, no doubt. One of the most powerful players I think we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And as you can see here, TAS is just cruising.
He's on the next level.
Yeah, this series is done. I think he needed to get warmed up, and he did that.
Yeah.
He's definitely all the way there. I would not want to play TAS in round 3. I'll let you guys know right now.
Yeah.
A TAS with this level of confidence, when you basically devour a professional player, it can only build your personal momentum and your mindset going into the next game. And I'm sure TAS is sitting very high right now.
Yeah, and it's not finished for us, Sneaky, because he's just losing. He's losing 7-0, but it's just 1 game. So he gets 6 games ahead to make change it.
Yeah, I mean, this series is done for him, but he's got to be able to bounce back.
Yes.
This is where people always make that debate about, well, what do coaches do? What do managers do? What do your friends do when they're at an event with you? And I think a lot can be the mindset and helping you make sure that you keep your mindset in the right place, no matter if you get a good result or a bad result. So they keep you grounded when you get the good result, and then they also keep you grounded when you get the bad result. And they're like, hey, don't lose your cool. Things are going to be all right. That's 1 game. That's 1 series. We're going to keep it moving. You wouldn't be here if you didn't deserve to be here. We're back to the Kurt game. Kurt ended up winning 6-1 in that first match, and I'm expecting him to still do his thing. He'll probably continue from there, adding more goals. And it's another one of those learning experiences for Excel, because I think Excel played well as he is down 1-0. But Kurt just is not going to miss those chances. Yeah. And he's got to make sure Excel, if he wants to get back into this, get those 4 wins to make sure that you're guaranteed the next step. Move on. Forget about this series. Move on. Take your loss. Keep moving, man.
Keep moving and keep working. So let's just have a look on another game, which opposites Chris from New York City versus Cody, their finisher. Wow, I think it's 3-2 or 2-1 on the game.
And I actually just played against Chris at the MLS.
The ex-Rangers. Yeah.
And Chris is, I would say, for many people, the top American right now.
Yeah?
Really? I'd say many people would put Chris as the top American. Qualifies for a lot of events. Has done really well. He's already got a placement at the playoff based on the first event. And I really like Chris as a person and as a player. He mixes up his gameplay well.
He's a very good man.
Yeah, good guy. Very humble guy. Very true professional.
Yeah.
He's going to go to sleep early. He's going to be ready to play.
Early at 8 p.m.
I don't. I didn't ask him how early he went to sleep, but he definitely show up to tournaments with the utmost level of focus. He's not going to let you down.
It's very interesting. So it's an important thing for a pro player to respect your sleep time, to practice physics as well.
Yeah, it's important to make sure that you don't hinder yourself in any way.
Yeah.
Don't mess with your preparation. You spend months to get here. Don't go out drinking the night before. Don't stay up too late. You know, make sure that you're focused, you're in the zone. And unfortunately for Chris right now, it hasn't gone well for him as he's down 4-2 in aggregate. The stranger is not a stranger to tournaments. We saw him play at the.
It was a joke.
We saw him play at the previous event. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good joke or not, but it's in there.
No, it's good. It's good. I approve it.
Yeah, you approve it. Thank you. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. But we'll see if he can get back into this game. I mean, he only needs one more goal to put a little more pressure on Stranger, and when that happens, that's when you either make it or break it. Oh, do you have that extra? I don't know the word that I'm looking for. That to really push through and rebound into a game and to score those late goals, or are you gonna start to tumble, get pushed over?
You have to touch.
Hey, I'm just saying it can happen, man. Remember, guys, we're doing today's drops in the chat, which include rare player packs, Gareth Bale's 90 rated FUT birthday card, and then the inform Paul Pogba with a 91. Oh, brilliant! I actually really like that Bale card. I've seen a couple players using them, which was a surprise for me, just because I didn't think he'd make it into the tournament with the Team of the Year Marcelo.
Yeah.
But some people were like, look, this is worth it to me. I love Gareth Bale, though, as a player. I think the sheer size that he has in the game and athleticism and having a gifted left-footed player, it's important. Oh, that's going to hurt. Great finish there from Ruud Gullit.
Good it's.
The driven finesse shot. Super effective. And we're seeing goals everywhere. We're not seeing low-scoring games, which, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, that's good for me. I'd rather talk about high-scoring matches, back-and-forth results, as opposed to the classic who could hold the ball the best. Possession will always be a factor, but instead of it being necessarily the strictly position battle of like, I've got the ball, you don't have the ball. I've got the ball, you don't have the ball. Where we're seeing this being more of a back-and-forth with
it's important to keep the ball more than your opponent.
Well, I mean, it's about... I think more important is controlling the speed of the game, and that's a great way to do it. You can tell people at what pace they're going to get to play if you have the ball a lot.
So, as you talked before about Gareth Bale, if you have to pick Messi or Bale, which one you use to choose?
It definitely depends on position, and I don't know if this will be popular opinion or not, but I'm going to give you my opinion anyway. If I was
give me your tactics.
If I was playing two strikers, Gareth Bale would be my left striker. Potentially one more. Chris getting a little bit aggressive. He has to, though. He's down big on aggregate. So Gareth Bale over Messi as a left striker, unless it's Team of the Year Messi. I think I'd take that over even the informed Gareth Bale's. However, if you're going to use as a left attacking mid, if you're going to use a left center mid or a left center defensive mid, all those I'd go Gareth Bale. And with Messi, if you're playing as a cam, a central cam, I think that's his money position. That's his bread and butter.
He can finish with his left foot.
He can finish with both feet to me this year, and he's just got something special about his left foot. I mean,
he has four stars in
the weak foot. Absolutely. But something about that left foot, it's gifted and talented. Remember when you were young, you go to school, they had the classes for the people that had something a little bit special about them. Messi would always be in that class. Like, that's the Messi class right there. And his left foot, no doubt, is something God-given, man. It's a beautiful thing. Absolutely love him, man. Chris, got to finish, Chris. And he gets the finish. Still down 2, but he's got a whole second half. This isn't done yet. Not done yet. One more goal, I'm telling you, Stranger will feel some of that pressure. Beautiful finish. Little finesse shot around the goalkeeper. Good luck, Mr. De Gea. You can save a lot of things, but not that one, my friend.
Lord De Gea.
Love him.
The Lord. He's dominated the game.
Manchester United also loves De Gea. He's definitely saved them in a lot of matches over the last couple of years.
In real football, is he the best actual keeper?
I think it's a little more debatable there. I think everybody would have him in the top 2 or 3. I think you still should preference Neuer.
Neuer.
I mean, we no longer have the Buffon where he's in his prime. The prime Buffon was a beautiful guy, man. He's doing his thing. I think his leadership qualities on the pitch, super noticeable, but I think you got to go. It's got to be De Gea, Neuer. Who else do you throw in the combo?
Maybe
Ter Stegen's had a good year, but I just can't. I don't think I could put him there. I don't think I could put him up in that group. But what about you?
For me,
who else maybe slides in there for you?
I have De Gea.
Okay.
He's great. I have Ter Stegen. He's great too. And I have Manuel Neuer as well. But Buffon on the first place.
If you could put him as a throwback, you have to get the throwback Buffon.
Yeah.
Or like the throwback Van der Sar.
Yeah, Van der Sar. Yeah. The throwback David Seaman.
Yeah.
Yeah. The throwback Fabian Barthez.
Oh, we should chat. Talk to us. 3 goalkeepers, top 3, real life. Who you got? We'll accept all opinions. You know, if it's not popular opinion, that's all good with us. We'll just see if they agree or not. But I think De Gea and Neuer have to be in that top.
Yeah, I think so. I know it's Ronaldo. So let's just have a quick look about a great game which opposite Timox and Dito.
Okay.
Dito. So
it's
1-1. Yeah, the 2 Germans player. Yeah. So they're both of the 2 best Germans player actual. So including Tian Yesala. Yeah. Tian is very great. He's a great player. So, what is your opinion about German player actual?
German players in FIFA, they have beautiful esports culture.
Yeah.
Not many people would use the word beautiful, but it is. It's great. It's excellent. The structure is there. I've been competing for many years, and every time I've gone to Germany for an event, they pack it out. And we definitely salute them for that. And that's another reason their community is so strong. We talked about the French community.
Yeah,
you obviously come from the French community.
Yeah.
And the German community, they're so in touch with not just the consumers and the fans, but also the competitors and knowing how to set up internal events to get these guys ready. That's why you see them in the finals so often. I mean, we all remember the days of Bruce Granick, and if you do not, please Google Bruce Granick, multi-world champion. Hey, there we go. My man Bruce,
hello.
You get absolutely every shout-out that I have for you. I've never seen anybody win events with 0 emotion.
Yeah.
At the first event I was at that Bruce won was a FIFA Interactive World Cup. He had a broken leg. He couldn't even stand.
Yeah.
Won the event sitting down. They were moving a stool around for him.
In Dubai.
It was not in Dubai.
No,
I think it was in Spain. Yeah, I think it was in Spain.
Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona.
He won that event, and everybody was like, "Who is this guy?" And he won the event, and they had to ask him to smile for the picture. After winning the money, he won all the prizes, and they're like, hey, come on, let's bring something out there.
He's named The Machine in French.
Absolutely. I've seen that documentary. It's a good documentary, but he is truly a machine, not for show. The guy win, lose, draw, nothing changes. With the 2 guys that you're seeing on screen, fellas, with Timo, because I want to bring this up, we have 2 contradicting styles. So Timo is a very aggressive player and is looking to get into that ping pong battle or that very high pressure, a lot of opportunities, a lot of chance creation. And Dito's the opposite. Dito wants to control a game. He wants to slow a game down. He wants to outpossess you. He's going to dictate the pace. Oh, I think he beat the offside strap. Oh!
What?
Needed that. And as you can see on screen, Dito is ahead 3-2 on aggregate. So Timo is chasing this game a bit. And I'll tell you right now, if you feel like going up against Dito, you feel like you're chasing a game, the whole game. You can't rush this guy. It's difficult, man. Short pass after short pass, switch after switch. He is going to outlast you, and that's kind of his goal. And he just signed recently for Manchester City, so he's got, I'd say, some new expectations as a competitive player.
My expectation?
No, I'm saying he has new expectations. Like Dito, for his personal legacy, and he's won the World Cyber Games before, is that he wants to win championships. He wants to win the entire event. He's not just there to have a good result. But I'd love to be maybe a fly on the wall in the conversation that he had with Manchester City, where they're like, look, we need #1 or nothing. I don't know if they had that combo, but I'm just saying he has to feel that.
It's mentality. So he's just here to win the game. So Dito is one of the world former player on the community. He's here since a long years. You know?
Dito's one of the most successful FIFA players of all time.
I know him since a long years. So just before the tournament, I was talking with Maestro. Maestro was training 1 game versus Dito. Dito has won the game, and Maestro told me it's very difficult to play versus Dito. You know why? Because Dito keep the ball in a small area. Dito keep the ball in the penalty, all around the penalty area. It's very difficult because you don't know what he will doing when he will have the ball. You know, so it's very difficult to play versus Dito.
Absolutely, he's not on my fave 5. Yeah. You remember you said the Fave 5 deals, like you had for your cell phone, the 5 people you called the most?
Yeah.
I would not want Dito to be on that list. Yeah. He's one of those guys, after you play one match versus him, you're drained. Because it took all your focus just to try to get the ball off of him. And it's easier said than done. And that's why he's been to a lot of finals and events. He's always done well in events because he just controls the event or controls the game. And that's what Timo's trying to figure out right now. What does he want to do in order to try to get himself back into this? He really can't concede again against Dito and expect to get a positive result in this series. At least not in my opinion, just with the way that he's able to kind of move it around. And that's something that's interesting in FIFA, whether you're playing narrow, you're playing wide, you're playing a lot of possession, you're playing a fast-paced game. All of these ways of playing can be effective, so to speak, depending on the title, the installment, and then also how is your execution.
Your execution. So we just came to watch the formation of both players. Dito is currently playing in 4-4-2 now versus Timox, which is playing in 4-2-3-1. It's still opposition. It's not easy for both players on the side. Just have a quick look now. So if you're joining us just now, we just remind you that we are on the FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cup live in Manchester.
This is the Champions League of FIFA events.
Yeah, it's a huge competition which opposes 64 players of both console, of both platform, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And this tournament is just amazing, Mike.
Oh, big miss there from Timo. And this is the world final. If you win this, you can call yourself a world champion. And most people don't get an opportunity to say I was the world champion at anything. Yet alone FIFA, where I mean it is a grind. Everybody thinks they're amazing at FIFA, but not everybody can come here. And like you said, the top 64 guys, and they're going to battle it out. It's going to be sweaty. They're going to be close. It's going to come down to penalty kicks. And right now you're seeing two of the best Germans in the world, one representing Wolfsburg, the other one representing Manchester City. Dito is in the purple kits, and Timo is in the classic Wolfsburg kits with the green and white. So let's just have a quick talk for the viewers. Absolutely.
You don't see it, but just now on the area, there are a lot of emotions. There are a lot of people who say, yeah, when they score a goal.
Let's go.
Who say, let's go. Who say, no. Who say, it's amazing because you have to play 14 games. Because, as we can remind you, the players are playing 160 games to be qualifier.
Absolutely.
It's very huge. You don't play 1, 2, 3, or 10 games. You have to play 160 games
over 4 weekends, and you get no mistakes, basically.
No mistakes, because if you lose one game, you can be out.
It matters. It matters. I mean, I don't have this pulled up in front of me, but I think you could only lose maximum 7 games in order to get a potential qualification spot. So think how perfect that is, guys. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's mad.
That means you're getting 38s and a 39 to go with it, or maybe a 40-0 in there to guarantee a qualification. And these guys have shown time and time again that they're able to be perfect, basically. So now it's a battle of who can be perfection, like legit perfection. And you see Dito's doing what Dito does, holding the ball, slowing down the game. And I'm expecting to see a change, actually, from Timo shortly. If he doesn't get a goal next 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I would expect a pause and maybe to go a little more aggressive with your custom tactics or to get some fresh legs on the pitch.
I'm very surprised about both of players, Timox and Dito, because they're increasing their level. They level up all of the daily. Just look at Dito was losing the grand final last year. He was finishing second in London.
I'm sounding smart right now. Game has been paused. Changes have been made.
Wow.
Told you. It would come in the 70th minute at that time.
It's a key moment. This moment is very important because they are changing their composition. So, did you play with Ronaldo or with Cristiano or with Ronaldo Brazilian in front?
They're both going to be there. This is a tough debate.
Yeah,
it's a really difficult debate because it comes down to a little bit of how I mean, they both have the skills, they both have this, they both have that. I think the explosion of the original Ronaldo, R9 feels a little bit quicker for me, which might be a surprise to some of you guys. But when he receives the ball, the way that he steps around the center back or the full back or the midfielder, and he's at full speed like that. And I think for me that gives me a little more greater value.
Like in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I like that.
When you have a red mushroom in Mario Kart, like vroom, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like Sonic the Hedgehog when you used to. You had the
and
then boom, you take off.
And boom, take off. Okay. Yeah. So let's have a quick.
You see an aggressive last 25 minutes. So what's happening right now? Dito's going to try to hold the ball, especially knowing Dito. That's his style. That's his MO. He's definitely going to try to hold the ball as best as possible. And Timo's going to get crazy. He's known to slide tackle, to double team, to bring the heat, to bring a lot of pressure, and nothing's going to change. We're going to see some mistakes probably made from Timo's end while he's trying to increase the pressure. However, with that being said, if he only needs one takeaway, one counterattack, and he's back in it.
Yeah, I'm agree.
And if we are equal, if we're equal on aggregate, it continues. We got to get a winner.
We have to get a winner.
We have to get
Maybe
a winner.
in the penalty shootout, I don't know. But currently, Dito is winning the game in aggregate for 3-2.
Do you guys get nervous? You guys at home, do you get nervous when you're in a penalty kick shootout? I was going to say, I get nervous watching them. Like even on the gaming end, real life, I'm nervous for everybody that's taking penalties.
Yeah, me, I'm not a nervous guy. I'm not nervous, but...
I'm not going to lie, I'll get nervous a little bit on penalties.
But I think this is why I have not win title, because I'm not enough nervous. And I'm not enough aggressive when I play, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have to. And now it's Kante for Ronaldo. Ronaldo, which is giving the ball to Ronaldo.
Oh, another pause. Timo with another pause.
Wow, it's Gullit again for Dito. No, for Chimok, sorry. And Ronaldo, which is giving the ball for Gullit. Good, maybe the shot. Maybe Ronaldo the shot.
There we are.
And now,
there we are.
It's war with opposite Chimok and Dito. It's 3-3 currently. And now it's
going to change this pause because Timo had made the pause in order to go to most likely a 3 at the back to bring more pressure. To basically go for it. It was the 80+ minute. We're going for it. We're throwing everything forward.
Only with pressure.
And now he just got the goal. The game's been paused. And he's probably feeling a lot better.
Wow.
Maybe a momentum change here. Maybe a momentum switch. You want to be up 2 wins and moving on to your third matchup as opposed to being 1-all. But I tell you what, I wouldn't want to see either of these guys in the next game.
It can be dangerous to win 2 games. And to level up because you play versus another great player which has won 3 games. And as we can remind you, it can be only one player with 6-0 records. Not more, only one. And I think it can be at least 10 players with 3-0 records, I think.
So just to throw that out there, just to reiterate, if you guys are just tuning in or you're not familiar with how this tournament works in terms of structure, we are using the Swiss format, which means that everybody will play until they have 4 wins or 4 losses. It's the easiest, simple way to say that. We're just going to keep going till you have 4 wins or you have 4 losses.
You are out.
And you always play somebody who's at the equal record to what you've got. You got the same record. So if I have 2 wins and 1 loss, I'm playing somebody that has 2 wins and 1 loss. And so forth and so on.
It's a very long daily. It's a long journey.
It's a grind. It's a grind. We're going to find out who's the most consistent player, no doubt. Who's got the best focus, who's dialed in. And if you're not, it will show.
It's like a sports. It's very physics because your mind have to be ready to play 14 games in a row. I
would love to see if there's a test to kind of train your mind in terms of getting your best focus. Because I feel like at some point here, if it hasn't been announced somewhere yet, that there should be a way to really start training for esports tournaments, not just by practicing and playing more matches and understanding tactics and execution, but also by making sure that you're able to be as focused as you can be. You're maximizing that focus level. A little bit unlucky there for Dito, I would say as well.
I agree.
Ball bounces around in the box, finds Cristiano. Cristiano doesn't need to reach it. No, he's got it.
No, just one is good. So this is what we said before. So you have to manage too much metrics. You don't. It's not enough to be the best player, you know. So as I remind, so you have to play a beautiful game and you have to have the luck with you. So on the goal, Timox I'd have the luck with him, you know.
Yeah, well, we have a saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I wouldn't say Timo was amazing in that 85th minute, but he took his chance. He went forward. He was decisive. Ball bounced the right way, and here we are. We're back into it.
Now maybe it's a wake up of Dito with Conte, which is keeping the ball, which is giving the ball for Vieira. Vieira in the left wing for Messi at back for Marcelo. Marcelo against the Brazilian player for Real Madrid. Marcelo.
Oh, he got it.
Ronaldo. What a save by David De Gea. What a save again.
Incredible.
Wow, incredible.
Have to have it.
What's the end of a game? Which opposite Timox versus Dito. Wow. Maybe in the first post. Pass or the first post, but you have to choose. First post. Wow, what a hate. It's finished. It's 3-3 on aggregate.
We have to get a winner.
Yeah, we have to get a winner. Yeah. What a game.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah.
That was a big time goal.
Yeah.
And both these guys, I would say, are favorites. Established pros for multiple years, and a lot of people look at them as being the guys from Germany. And that's a big statement because Germany now has at least 10 to 12
best
favorites,
player.
So to speak. When they're in a tournament, people believe this guy can win it. No, I actually think he can win it. It would not be an upset at all if he were to go all the entire way. W after W after W. And it's kind of like when you're looking at the German national team in real life. It's hard to go against them in a tournament.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to give you, and they don't stray away from that. They're going to continually give you the possession, the control, the size, and just lack of mistakes.
Yeah, just have a few quick, a few talks about another game which opposite #Harry versus Desertabus. So Harry, it was 0-0. I don't know which was the final result on aggregate, but it was huge.
Solid efficiency, as we hear some people yell in the background. And that's something that you should take into consideration. I know that you stressed how you have to kind of balance your emotions and balance more than just your gameplay. And when somebody's next to you and they're yelling at you, they're jumping around, they toss a control, they throw a sweat rag. How do you react? Does that motivate you? Do you feel the pressure more?
It depends on the moment of the game.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. That's another factor that you should take into consideration. It's another variable.
It's very hard to explain. So I think your coach have a good eyes on you. So you have to help you to manage your emotion, to balance your emotion. You know, to not be out of the game, to get in the game. You know, to help you to stay focused, to help you to win the game.
No, it's definitely easier said than done as well, where when you're looking at, you could have a chance here. Hold that thought. Rude hold it.
Yeah.
Dancing in the box.
Hold it.
But it's another dynamic to add into playing tournaments is that different from being online, of course, you get every bit of reaction and emotion from your opposition. And I think going forward, we might even see some tournaments where you're in a big crowd. So you're going to hear the crowd.
Yeah.
They're going to be behind you. You might not be a fan favorite. They might have some things to say about you.
Huge.
Yeah, how do you react?
At the moment, but I don't know how I react, but it's helping me to win the game. The crowd is like the 12th man on the field, you know?
Absolutely. And I think that's something that will be very interesting to see how that plays out going forward into tournaments. And does that give maybe guys like #Harry, who are very emotional with everything that happens. Like if Harry had the opportunity to talk to his opposition, would he? I think yes, so absolutely. If you could hear me, I want you to hear me.
It's like Maestro. Maestro is a very emotional guy in French community, you know. It's a similar guys. And now it's Valenza. Valenza, maybe it's an attack.
Maybe Timo would say, stop holding the ball. He'd tell him, I'm tired of you holding the ball. Do something else. You're possessing too much.
Yeah, so keep the ball. I just need to have one chance and score one time, and it will be over. You know.
I mean, I've definitely talked to people like that before. And if you go back to some of the early tournaments in FIFA, you weren't playing on separate consoles. You weren't playing on separate monitors. We had a defined camera view, so we'd play standing next to each other, sitting next to each other. So if you were on a penalty kick, you'd be like, I think you're going right. You could talk to the guy. I think you're going left. You're going to go down the middle. Well, maybe not trash talk, but maybe it gives you some info.
No, but it's good.
It's good. It's good.
It's competition.
Absolutely. And any advantage you can get. If you can play it into your favor, do it, man. Like, no, I see where you're going. You better stop that.
Yeah.
You let them know. If you had a table, we go, hit the table.
Oh, Mike. Just hit the table.
Yeah, you committed to hitting the table. We're going to have no table left if you get excited. So we're going into the second portion of extra time. Just to reiterate, if you're coming into the stream, your brand new Dito is going to be in the purple kits, and then we have Timo in the classic green and white. The Germans are battling it out to see who's going to advance, who's going to take their first loss of the event. And it's 3-all in aggregate. That's why you're seeing a 2-1 score line there, and that's not GG. That's not game over. We still have potentially a goal. If not a goal, we're going to go to immediately into penalty kicks, and that will decide the winner. It'll be our second major bout of penalty kicks. We saw Task go to penalties. We saw Gorilla go to penalties in the first games. And it's going to be good. I like watching penalties, man. I tell you that. I feel nervous about it, but I like watching them. I'm not turning off the TV. I'm not turning off the screen.
I like to, and I like comment it. Now it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo maybe.
Oh, that's too much space.
Wow. It was a finish shot, but it was very saved by David De Gea.
I want to know what Timo gave De Gea before the match. This has been a special edition, man. If you ever saw Space Jam, they like, what is this, at halftime, you get Mike's like special drink or whatnot. I forget what it's called. Have you seen it? You've seen it. They gave, it was just water. It was just water, but it was like, I forget what they called it. Chad helped me out. It was something like that. It was Mike's drink or whatever it was.
Just have to smash it.
I'm talking about Michael Jordan here, not me. Not me. It's not my drink. It's not my drink. I want to clarify.
No, it's not yours. It's one of Timo. And now it's Ramos. Ramos for Maldini. Maldini for Vieira, which is giving the ball to Valencia in the right side of the pitches.
Oh, that's a bad giveaway from Valencia.
Yeah, the bad pass. And Marcelo, which is, wow, it's very tight. It's a tight end of the game. We are running straight to the penalty shootout.
And what Dito's doing here is trying to show his veteran experience, where he's trying to build up very slow, which is the Dito style. But if he can manage this last attack to be the last attack, he wants no counter. He does not want to turn over the ball, and he's using a lot of additional build-up. And oh, it might have baited Timo. It might. I think he's onside. It got him. It got him. Absolutely.
It was you saying before.
He was trying to bait him out, bait him out, bait him out. And when Timo thought that he was going to go side to side, or thought he was going to go backwards, he turned, took the space, and he was into space. And unless Timo can create something off kickoff, that's it. That's all she wrote.
It's very hard for both players. It will be very hard for Timo in mentality to manage and to back to the game, to equalize maybe for him.
He's got one chance.
Yeah, he got one.
Everybody knows he's got one chance.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing now in terms of changes on Dito's end, he just made sure everybody's on stay back while attacking, or cut the passing lane, sit back. Don't go forward. Please don't go forward. And he's hoping that that's going to be enough. He only needs one stop and a clearance, and he'll be in a good position.
And now for Timo, it's left of the ball because he can score with his chance, but he can get score.
I mean, we do see a lot of goals come off kickoffs. And I definitely expect Timo to come in, potentially some 3 at the back, and just throw everybody forward. Like I said, one opportunity,
just get forward.
120th minute. Well done from Dito. Shows that experience to get ahead here. He timed the offside step perfectly. And Ronaldo doesn't miss from there.
Yeah, Ronaldo and Ronaldo.
You know, that's cookies and milk right there. He's dunking the cookie, eating the cookie all day.
All day.
And now Ronaldo actually really enjoys cookies these days.
You enjoy?
Yeah, he's beefed up a little bit.
Enjoy potatoes, cookie.
Yeah, potatoes, cookies, rice, all the above. Carbs.
I love chicken.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm a fan. Don't get me started on food. We'll be here for a while. If you guys are in Manchester, been in Manchester, and you know what we should go eat, I'd love to hear that, because I am definitely, I'm a foodie man at heart. I'm definitely eating.
Yeah, now it's the last chance. Kante for Ramos. Ramos maybe. Ramos again. Ramos, which is giving the ball, which is keep the ball.
Oh.
Ramos. Wow, it's finished.
Is that the whistle?
Yeah, it's finished. It's the final results. So congrats, Dito, for winning this game versus Timo. So we just have a look of one of the great game on this tournament, because we have just two great opponents, Timo and Dito, two of the best German players.
Absolutely. I expect both of them to go through to get 4 wins.
I expect too.
I would be shocked if one of them is eliminated from this tournament before reaching the next stage, the elimination stage, the bracket stage. I think they've shown their consistency and they just understand the game.
Mike, sorry, it's a penalty shootout in the Boras game. I'm sorry, I was too quick for you.
Hold on, what we got going on here?
Wow, Boras versus. He scored versus.
You saw me grab somebody. You had to grab somebody immediately.
He's playing versus Cody, the finisher.
Is that a wrap?
Yeah.
See a celebration?
Cody versus #Boras. Yeah, got it.
Okay.
It's hand.
We caught the very tail end of that.
Wow. Yeah. And now we come back to the camera.
Let's see how Gorilla went on in the second matchup here. Did he bounce back? Because that was crazy between him and Dax.
Yeah.
I mean, intense. Nobody knew what was going to happen. You got to love it. That's what FIFA's all about.
Yeah.
When you're looking at a 7-all or an 8-all aggregate, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I'll take those games every day of the week. Any guys in the chat, anybody that's been a surprise, good or bad, let us know right now. We're looking at the chat. We've got it pulled up. What do you guys think? As you can see, here we go. Gorilla on screen.
Yeah. And now we have...
What happened earlier?
What happened? Gorilla versus Showery.
3-all. Goals were scored.
3-3. Wow. Which one of them will win the game? So it's very hard to play versus Gorilla because you can be known and unknown, but when you play versus Gorilla, you are scared, you are afraid by Gorilla, and you get a pressure by yourself, you know. It's very hard.
The pressure is on. You know people are going to watch your game, especially if you're a newbie. You're a new guy to tournaments, and maybe people will allow you to slide under that radar, but not versus Gorilla. And I think it's hard to play against Gorilla as well because how do you prepare for him? And I don't mean that in a sense of like, oh, he's so good, he's so unstoppable, he's so this. He is all these things. But his style of play is so aggressive. He's going to be in your face, good or bad. And it's hard to play anybody that kind of has a similar style.
Oh, it's a crossbar challenge.
Crossbar challenge. Come on, Daniel, get up.
Crossbar challenge. Hello, everybody. How are you?
As we see Pele. Not everybody's been using Pele.
No.
That's been one of those icons that, even though I would rate him as top 5 players of all time in real life, not top 5 most, I guess, most commonly chosen icons in FIFA this year.
He was very good in FIFA 16, Pele. And I asked to a lot of players, and they told me they prefer play with Ronaldo, the Brazilian, as a central midfielder. Wow, Ronaldinho! Wow! Wow, Ronaldinho! Samba, samba! Wow!
That was
just
nice.
Look! It was nice. It was nice to
bringing it back to the Barcelona days.
Nice too much. Yeah.
Dino is one of those guys, man. If he didn't make you feel a certain way about football and soccer culture or football culture, I don't know what will, man. Is just for probably 3 years. I'd say 3 years. I don't know if you can put many people on the level of Dino. Even now with the Messi and Ronaldo, there's something special about him. The way that he played the game.
It's not a similar way to play. Messi and Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is very spectacular. Ronaldinho scored a lot of free kicks, like Messi. But Ronaldinho is a great skiller. You know, his way to keep the ball on to play with magics is incredible.
The opposite of simple.
Yeah, very simple.
No, I would say the opposite of simple for Dino. He was going to always give you something to talk about every game. And just the way that he did some of the skill moves. Some of his execution was like we'd never seen before. He transformed skilling as we see Shari 1-0. And I will say this, if you watch Gorilla play, doesn't matter what opponent, there will be goals. Too aggressive. Too in your face, too much pressure, and he's shown that even if he does go down, he's comfortable making comebacks. In a series, comfortable making comebacks. Not somebody you want to see in a bracket phase, not somebody you want to see even in the Swiss bracket setup either, just because you never know. You never know what's going to happen with the guy, but he plays in that, I guess that stage of not knowing. That's his bread and, bread and butter, man. You lace it up. That's like where he likes to be, where you might be uncomfortable, and for most people you'd be uncomfortable, but not for Gorilla.
Yeah.
He definitely feels good about high pressure play, double teaming everywhere, fast game play, you name it.
Yeah, he's comfortable with it.
Oh, there's the equalizer. Speaking of ball bouncing around, that's all good.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah, and as we can remind you, Gorilla lost his first game versus PSG Jacks.
Yes, in a penalty kick pursuit.
Penalty kick. 6-6 in aggregate. It was a tight game.
Was it 6-6 or 7-7?
It
doesn't matter. It was even. It was even.
9-10 if you
whatever.
want.
we could do 11v11. Pro clubs aggregate, yeah, that went to penalties. And like I said, from speaking with Gorilla, I know that he doesn't rate himself in penalties.
Yes.
That it's a weak point of his game. Maybe that portion of the mental battle. I don't know if he's psyched himself out in penalty kicks, but he doesn't seem to be nearly as confident.
Yeah, he's very confident. So he's one of the players to watch, like DH takes, F2 takes now.
Yes.
Yeah, like Ryan Pessoa. I love this player.
Because, you love Ryan?
Yeah, I love Ryan because he's very good. And
Ryan, if you want, I can put you on a date. Well, I can introduce you guys.
Yeah, why not? Why not? To eat chicken. Only chicken.
Only chicken.
Only chicken.
We're going to Nando's.
Nando's, yeah, great.
So what makes Ryan somebody that you really gravitate towards in terms of his gameplay or his attitude?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, so he has a great gameplay and he's very humble and he's a great man. Really. So he was Finnish, the first player on the world on the Fut Champions qualifier in February on the weekend.
Yeah, no, I also like Ryan. I got to talk to him a little bit at the hotel yesterday, and he seems ready. He's prepared and excited for the tournament. I feel like most players are very like ready to get this underway. When I talked to people, I didn't see many nervous eyes. I saw a lot of faces that said, "This is what I came for. This is where I put it all." Dino.
I don't know if you remember when he was playing versus Real Madrid, and he scored 2 amazing goals.
Absolutely.
Taking the ball at the midfield and going up to the goal, skills, beats 1, 2, 3 defender. And score versus Iker Casillas.
I think he's one of those players that has some of the most memorable moments.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. And even right now we're watching Cristiano and we're watching Messi. Both of those guys are developing legacies like we've never really seen before, especially statistically. It's absolutely something just special. I'm glad that we get to be a part. I'm glad this is in my era. Because when you go back, neither of us were really in the Maradona or the Pele era in terms of getting to see all their games, getting to watch. No, we weren't around. We had to watch some of the throwback as you see Messi on a break here. He hears us talking about him. Wow. Just misses on the drop back.
What tough, you know.
And as you can see on screen, Gorilla's up 5-4 here on aggregate. And aggregate is based over the 2 legs. You have a home and away. And there is no home and away goals.
Yeah, there is
so
no
just throwing that out there. If you
it's not like in Champions League.
Yeah, and it should be. It shouldn't be like that either in this case. The home and away doesn't matter the same way as Gorilla. Yes, absolutely.
Because you are playing in the same area, so you are not in away, you are not in home.
It doesn't matter who sends the invite. It shouldn't make a difference with the gameplay, and it doesn't make a difference unless you're one of those people that once again believes that it makes a difference.
The gameplay is the same for both players. Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing this 96 Ronaldo everywhere.
96 impressive players.
Clockwork.
So now
45th minute.
Gorilla is winning 6-4.
6-4 in aggregate, and it's not a good position to be in. You don't want to give up a goal just before half.
Yeah.
One of the worst feelings, because you know it's going to carry on, and a lot of times you don't come out of second half and really believe in yourself. You lose some of that self-belief when you give up a goal in the 45th. It's the one that hurts you.
Yeah.
It hits you in the heart.
It's your ego.
You're in pain.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
As you see some changes here.
It's a bad feeling for you because you have to manage your emotion, and it's hard to, like you said before, it's your ego. So now we just face 2 changements for Gorilla.
It's crazy seeing all these guys on one team.
Yeah.
When you see every player you basically looked up to all playing together.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Potentially a big break here from halftime.
Maybe now for Messi.
Still going.
Hold it.
Still going.
Hold it. Put it for Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Maybe it's now. No, it's Ronaldinho. Ronaldo. For Maradona, Diego Armando Maradona. It's a gold hand, Maradona.
Something that I find very interesting in all of these events is that players really dig deep to the point that they find out new methods of playing FIFA.
Yeah.
You can practice all you want at home,
yeah,
but at the end of the day,
deeper and deeper. Yeah.
Once you get there at the event and everything's in your face, you typically figure out what formations, what adjustments need to be made, what worked, what didn't work. And I think that it carries over into the future events. And that's why I'm really hoping that we have a lot more LAN events going forward with FIFA esports in terms of development and just getting more and more experience. Because every time you play a LAN event, I'm telling you, you learn something new in the game. Whether it's a different way of taking a throw in, and maybe a new free kick, a different method for finishing in a certain circumstance or a certain scenario. As there we have it.
Good example.
That's got to wrap this up. 3 goals. I know Gorilla keeps attacking, man, but at the same time, you got to believe that he's not going to throw away a 3-goal spread. 53rd minute. I just don't see it. And he's being clinical. I'll start with that Dino goal. The one from outside the box. After he had that. Oh, look at this. What's going on here? There you go.
Yeah, so going to be hard for sure. So Gorilla is one of the players which keep to score again, unfortunately. So even if he's losing the game, even if he's winning by 2 or 3 goals, even if it miss 5 minutes left, he's keep going to score, to play, to attack.
Yeah, Gorilla doesn't go for a close spread, man.
Yeah.
He's only got one mentality, and it's savage.
Yeah.
Absolute savage, pure savage. He's not trying to win a game by 1 goal. And that's not him.
Yeah.
So he's going to rub salt in the wounds every single time. He wants to send a message. He wants, when a score gets reported online, maybe you didn't see the game, you saw that score line, though. Yeah. So I don't expect him to let up. One of the few guys, too, that doesn't necessarily look to kill off a game. And you could say, oh, that's a great thing. It's a great feature to have. But the first time you give up a goal or there's a comeback that's been made, then you kind of second guess if that was the right move. But from an entertainment standpoint, excellent.
He's like a pepper sauce because he's make you very in a difficult moment.
If you want the bleeding to stop, it's not going to stop versus Gorilla. He's just the wrong opposition. He wants to make sure that he's still pushing that tempo. And I think for Gorilla as well, he's just one of those guys that he struggles to really change the tempo to the point where he's no longer attacking. He'll lose some of his mental advantages that he has in the game of kind of going forward forward with a lot of decisive choices and just the way that he builds up his passing, his skill moves. He's in your face.
On the good moments. He's making, wow, Ronaldinho again for Maradona, maybe in the penalty area for Ronaldo. Ronaldo, it's very difficult to enter on the penalty area.
The way that Gorilla passes from around the box is extremely impressive. The very little, short, intricate details and small passes, and then you see a skill move and looking for the 1-2, just the way that he combines his attacking play. It's definitely a talent and one of those assets. We talked earlier about attributes and what do people do well. And this is where I always talk to people, like, you need to be honest with yourself. What do you really do well? And that's when you can turn well into amazing or turn into great or turn into the best. Where is your natural talent in FIFA? Some people it's defending, some people it's crossing, some people it's possession play, such as Adito, who can always find the extra pass. He always is able to find a little bit of space, and it seems like he can hold on to the ball in any given place on the pitch. You're going to play at his speed or no speed at all. Here we go.
As you said before, it's a true talks. You have to be honest with yourself. So you have to manage the moments of the game. If you have to keep the ball because you are winning. If you have to go ahead because you have to score, and go in front because you have to score. This is what Joe have to do.
No doubt, man. And I would say now that Gorilla's surely killed off enough time, even if Shari gets a goal here, I think you're asking for a lot. 4-1, he still needs 3 goals, 76 minute. Gorilla
must change.
Yeah, I mean, Gorilla could probably clear the ball at this point 3-4 times, and the game would be over, even if he just wanted to play defense. Just can't do anything dumb. No bad giveaways in the midfield, but we're just not going to see that. Looks cool, calm, composed, and I think this is going to be a game that he wraps up, moves on, gets a W in the books, adds it to the record. He'll probably feel much better about that. He's not going to penalty kicks again. It could be interesting, you know, even somebody as expensive or as experienced as Gorilla.
Yeah.
If he were to lose another game, or had to go to another battle in PKs, it surely has to affect his confidence.
Yeah, it's left or double. So Gorilla looks confident. Even if he lost his first game versus Dax, he's looking confident. He's one of the best players of the world. And he's just showing us that he's ready to get across the next round.
Yeah, he's going to bounce back, no doubt. And that's kind of what this was all about, is saying, look, Dax played well. I didn't do great in penalties, but I'm not lost. I'm not out of it. We're still here.
Yeah. I'm Gorilla. I'm not nobody. I'm the currently world champion of FIFA. And now it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo, the skills move. Ronaldo in the right wing. Ronaldo maybe at back for Conte. Conte at back. No, it's losing ball. Now it's Ramos. Ramos maybe for Maradona. No, it's Marcelo. Maradona.
At this point, we're looking for a consolation goal from Shari. Something maybe to carry into the next matchup. But in terms of getting this W against Gorilla, not going to happen. It's the 90th minute. This game is over.
It's over. Yeah, I'm agree.
Interesting. We saw an offside trap there, but this is going to be a wrap. Probably one clearance away from Gorilla. Now moving back into the position he wants to be into. I wouldn't say it's a commanding position, but at least having that win on the board is very important.
Yeah, so Mike, what is your first impression about this second round?
I think we saw some results that we needed to see.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
In the Timo game, I mean, it was... I could feel the pressure. I think the result was fair.
Yeah.
I think Timo was a little bit lucky, had a very favorable bounce, got back into the match, and Dito controlled the game. He missed a couple chances. De Gea had made a couple saves for Timo. He got a late goal. Fair enough. I would have liked to see penalties. I'm good with that. Gorilla, back in the win column. Doing what Gorilla does, scoring goals. And I think that's very important. How do you bounce back? We saw TAS, destruction. He took a page out of Texas.
7-0. Wow.
We had to switch that one off. We had to move that game ASAP. But a lot of results that we expected. I think I wouldn't say they were predictable, but they're the results that most people would say, if we were a betting man, this is what's going to happen. Do
not hesitate to vote for the third game. And now let's have a little break.
Absolutely. Let's take a break, man, before the next matchup.
And see you another time, guys. Thank you.
Peace.
Alexander?
Yeah. You know, we're the first ones here, and we're the last ones to leave. Being a kitman is key to the overall morale of a team. Getting kits ready is something I take a lot of pride in. My name is Sean Ruiz. I'm the equipment manager for the New York Red Bulls.